Hey everybody, it's Casey. It's game day, obviously. Otherwise, it wouldn't look like a traffic cone. Headed up to Clemson here in a little bit. But before we do that, myself and Rex are going to talk a little bit about how to be a professional
Hey,
in this writing community. Hang tight. This is your behind the scenes for our patrons. We weren't supposed to get to go to Clemson today. We were supposed to be watching Tournament of Bands that Holly was competing in. But the Hurricane Ian came through here. Tropical Storm Ian came through here, soaked everything, canceled everything.
so thank God you don't have to go through that.
And now she's free, and we are hopping in the car and riding up to see Clemson play NC State tonight. So looking forward to that. Last week we did an episode. It was our 200th episode, and we recorded it because we weren't in the studio. We were at the Aiken Book Festival. And last week's episode was Envy. Writer envy, where it was kind of, it should have been me. We were talking about writers who'd made it big and like why we weren't those writers. It was kind of
Yet.
It was a little bittersweet. But then we went to the book festival and we saw some really great examples of professionalism at the book festival. And so I wanted today to talk about what does professionalism look like in that in our particular market. What did you see at Aiken that really impressed you?
Well, I saw the ones that weren't selling, and they just showed up with books and sat down at the table.
Yeah.
And you can't just have books.
Yeah.
Right? If you go to a book fair and you're trying to sell your wares, you got to pretty it up. You got to have at least a tablecloth. Should have promotional stuff to give away. You had those paper roses.
Yeah.
More people came over to look at those paper roses than they did our books.
Yeah, I didn't want to sell them because I didn't make them. But I should invest in them because maybe I could sell them. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
That's my painted wine glasses and my painted shot glasses. Depending on what event I go to, those things sell, and they'll take a book with them, but they really want the wine glass.
Right.
And Dana Ridenauer, who sat next to us, she sold a whole mess of books, and she had candy wrapped in her book labels.
Oh yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was really cool.
I'd never seen that before.
I'm totally gonna do
that. She got
that.
it off of Etsy.
Totally gonna do that.
What was the other thing?
Just asking about what did you see that you thought was really cool?
Had business cards ready. A lot of people's business cards were way better than mine.
Yeah.
And then had bookmarks ready with your name on it and stuff like that.
Maybe be working a little bit on branding and creating more of a brand image with those business cards and
on the other hand, I sold a lot. Well,
Yeah.
a certain amount, not as many as that one next to me, but then people were there looking for murder mysteries, and that's what she was selling.
Yeah. So Dana, and this is in our show notes for today because she was the one sitting next to us that had a pretty impressive haul. I think she might have sold 15, 20 books yesterday, which I mean, she
35.
She sold 35.
That's what she told me.
She drove all the way up from Beaufort, but she also has a really good hook because she's a former FBI agent who has now written books about being an FBI agent. So,
Right.
but, some of that is a little bit about.
I sold all my Aristotle Anderson books.
Yeah,
I sold all of those. I sold the horror ones.
and eventually you'll have Slaughter Shark.
And Slaughter Shark will be up there
Yeah,
soon
so
too.
we'll have that too.
Well, that'll be fun, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we can share tables anymore.
Oh, with Slaughter Shark?
All right. So first, real quick shout out. Thank you so much to Steve Gordy for organizing the Aiken Book Fair last week. We had a good time. It was fun to be around other writers. It's not as big as we'd like for it to be, but that's because it's only in its second year. So the more we do it, the bigger it'll get, hopefully. I'm sure he's learning something every year about how to make it a little bit better. So the South Carolina
Well,
writers,
we had people show up this time.
we had a lot more foot traffic.
A lot more foot traffic than previously.
Part of it was Parents Weekend, so a lot of the students were touring their parents around campus.
It was in a better area.
We were in a better location. Yeah.
Didn't have to go through this like maze of twisting hallways to go to.
Yeah, well, we weren't in a classroom building. It was more of a display building. So,
Right.
All right, we're going to be on the air here in about 30 seconds. So we're going to go. Thank you to our patrons for supporting the show. We appreciate you. Today's episode should be a good one. Like I said, we're going to be talking a lot about the professionalism of writing. So we'll see you soon.